Hey CL, how you doing, buddy? Can you hear me all right? Everything going good that way? Thought I'd come on for a while. It's free agency time, the finest time in the land. Hey, how you doing, Vernon? So what do you think? Samsonov and Murray in Toronto. Wow. Man, oh man, is that a gamble. Holy smokes. So you basically have to hope that one of these guys can get their crap together. Samsonov looked absolutely horrible last year. Murray looked okay at, in the end a little bit, but they got to think that Murray went and got some help. He had like not like I'm not saying he had a uh, I just think he had mental blocks. He had to re-ground himself. I think that's what he needed. Maybe that's what he's did. I don't know. Yeah, Kemper's going there. I'm sure. Better can I don't know if it's better than last year. Well, I guess because Mrazek was so bad, but Samsonov was just as bad, if not worse, than Mrazek. So I'm not so sure about that either. I'm not so sure about that either. Like I said, they got to know something that I don't know, that we don't know. They got to know something that we don't know. They got to have like a team psychologist that said, I can work with these guys. Because if Murray ever could get back to what he was, it'd be great. But man, oh man. Okay, well, I mean, like overall, I'm talking about. Yeah, his last two games. Hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? Samsonov looked last year. Samsonov looked like he didn't know where the net was the whole time. Like Samsonov looked like he didn't even know where the net was most of the time. I don't think I've seen too many goaltenders look so bad in the NHL as Samsonov last year. So, oh man! But then in the playoffs, he did play a little better, I guess. But this is what you're putting your hopes on is Samsonov and Murray. My gosh, what else do we have? Oh yeah, the trade. The trade. I thought Boston did well to give. Oh, St. Louis Blues keep Letty. Oh gosh, why would you want to do that? How much? Financial terms have not been reported. Justin Schultz is expected to sign with the Seattle Kraken. Like, okay, they're just bringing in a few veterans there, I guess. I mean, he's not a very good defenseman. That's certainly not going to make them really all that much better next year. I think that's just you're picking somebody up to trade them, and I think that's what Francis is doing. He's trying to pick up guys that he can trade at the deadline. Marco Casper signed out. I think there's a good chance, and I don't think the Sens are done yet at all. It sounds like Klingberg. I don't know if that's the best move at all, but their top six with Giroux going there now, and I mean they got a really good chance to make the playoffs next year. I would say, as long as Forsberg can hold up. That's kind of the big thing there. Can Forsberg hold up? 3 mil each year. All right. I mean, like I said, I think that's pretty much a trade guy at the deadline. And I think that's what Francis is going to do. Cop to Detroit is brilliant. That is brilliant. Of course, Stevie Eisman always does that sort of thing. A guy that can play all three forward positions. They needed a guy that can play like Cop, keep the pace up, keep everybody out there accountable. Like he never gives up on a play. They need that in Detroit so bad. I don't know. Jack Campbell. Trocheck looks like he's going to the Rangers. Yeah. I don't understand that. Why wouldn't you keep, like, well, you say, why wouldn't you keep Kopp? Kopp is from Michigan. So I think Kopp was going to Detroit the whole time. So I can't really fault him for that. But you got Hedel there already. What are you going to pay Trocheck? I heard something in the $6 million range. The Habs are, I don't think they're going to do too much. They're sort of in tank mode, I think. I think they're sort of in tank mode. I don't think they're going to do too much. I mean, they may pick up some guys. Who did I have yesterday? Let's bring up the free agency here. I had, maybe they make that trade for Dubois. Let me go down here. Casper. New Jersey Devils expected to sign Brendan Smith. Lightning signed Ian Cole. Nice move. Yeah, there they go again. Nice $3 million bottom six guy filling that roster. And Giroux looks like he's going to sign. Campbell signs with Edmonton. Somebody asked me what I think of Campbell. He's when he's hot. When Campbell is hot, he's amazing. But when he's not, he's horrible. So they got to figure out how to keep Campbell. And Campbell seems to be affected by what people say about him a lot. And in Edmonton, people talk crap about you a lot in Edmonton. So I don't know how he's going to handle that. Yeah, I don't know about that Smith move. I mean, 1.1, I guess, to be a seventh defenseman. That's what you only want. They're trying to add a guy that can some muscle there. Getting Goudreau, which it looks like they got Goudreau. That's a small team in New Jersey, man. I don't know. They got to get some size. And then they traded. I'm trying to find that trade. What did Vancouver sign in Kuzma? They signed Kuzmenko, Vancouver, but I don't see any terms here. St. Louis expected to sign Thomas Greiss. Okay, that's their backup. Okay, well, that makes sense, I guess. A veteran guy to help. Yeah, that makes sense. I can understand that one. But where the heck is that trade? I'm trying to find that trade. Sabres re-signed Olofsson. Edmonton Oilers discussing a trade with Connor Brown. Nice. Wow, my Edmonton Oilers are doing some stuff. I don't know. I think Campbell could be good enough, but when he goes in the tank, man, it's bad. It's bad. Oh my gosh. Do we have Lauren in here? Lauren's going to lose his mind. Lauren, do we have Lauren in here? Apparently, the Carolina Hurricanes are close to acquiring Brent Burns from the San Jose Sharks. 7 years for Trocheck? Oh my God. Please tell me it's like $5 million. Yeah, Detroit and St. Louis swapped goalie. What was it? Holla for Zaka. Okay. I think that's a good move for Boston. Holla's not that great. Holla brings that pace, a little bit of size there for New Jersey. I kind of get that too. So, but wow, what a lost 2015 draft. Zaka was a top 7 pick, and he just lost it. Man, oh man, if Boston can turn him around, The thing about going to Boston is he doesn't have to be any more than he already is. The thing is you're getting size, but a guy that doesn't use it at all. That's the reason why New Jersey kind of traded him off. Burnsy's going to Carolina. Carolina does the weirdest stuff, man. I don't know. I don't know. Kane, I don't know. I'm guessing the Rangers, but with Trocheck, I mean, the Rangers apparently don't like to score 5-on-5. They just got Trocheck for 7 years, apparently. And, I mean, he's not a great 5-on-5 guy. If they get Kane, he's horrible 5-on-5. He's one of the worst in the league 5-on-5. He gets all his points on the power play. And he's terrible defensively. So, I don't know. I think they're shooting themselves in the foot with all these moves. He doesn't really win. Not for Saka doesn't really win puck battles all that much. Like, not for a 6'4" guy. You watch when you play him. Now, maybe when he gets into that energy in Boston, he's going to start bringing that side of the game to him. Also, he's a passer, and they wanted a shooter. That's probably more than anything the issue. Zaka is a passer, and they needed a shooter. I do like the move for Boston still, though. I still think they get a young guy with a lot of upside. You know, as a passer, I don't know who they're going to play him with. They're kind of in that. Maybe try him with Pasternak or something like that. But like they can't really play him with Hall. Let me look up Boston here. Who? Because he's a left winger, right? Maybe they're going to try him at center. And that might be the reason why he was having so many problems in New Jersey. Is he wanted to be a center. So Boston's probably going to try him at center. I wouldn't want to play him with Hall because then you got two guys that never pass there. Unless you play him with Pasternak and all they do is pass it to him all day. Toronto signs Obey Kubel. Lazar goes to Vancouver. That's not a bad pickup for them. Okay, so Giroux signed for sure. 3 years, $6.5 million. Wow, that's a lot for a guy his age. But man, they're going to be good next year. Olsen resigns in Buffalo. I'm a little bit surprised by that, especially it's only a 2-year deal though, so the term was low. Josh Manson got 4 years at 4.5 for Colorado until he's 34 years old. That might be the one misstep I think. I don't know. That's a lot. Josh Manson has been declining every year. Might be one of the few missteps that Joe Sakic has done, I would say. Yeah, I don't think Campbell was going to go there. I think Campbell got talking to Hyman in Edmonton, and they didn't want 5-year term. They didn't want a 5-year term. They only wanted a short term. So, and I kind of understand it. On the same note, I'm a little concerned for Edmonton at 5 years. I mean, if he stays as inconsistent as he is, that contract can, yeah, I like that. That's not a bad move for the Leafs. I kind of like that. It's all right. But with Edmonton, like I said, when Campbell, when he's great, he's great. When he's not, he's absolutely horrible. So now what are they going to get for a backup? They're going to use Skinner. I'd say they might be in a better position than they were last year, I guess. Because like I said, when he's hot, they'll win games like crazy. He'll go on tears, like 10, 12 game tears where he just can't. And if you can find a way, if If you can find a way to get him to play at a high level on a regular basis, then it's fine. It's a fine deal. But I think there's some issue on whether they're going to be able to do that. Yeah, that's a good deal. Thomas, 8 years at $8 million. I think there's nothing wrong with that deal. That's a good deal for St. Louis for sure. Well, Sakic. Yeah, I mean, Sakic is still big in the play there, but I think that's a bit of a misstep myself. 5.6 million a year for Trocheck. I think that could burn him. That could bite him in the ass, man. Holy. I was right. I was gonna look up Boston. Boston. So yeah, they got Zaka as a center, and of course Marchand's not going to be there to start out with. Bergeron, it'll be like Bergeron, Hall, and Pasternak, I guess, or put DeBrusque. Yeah, you got to put Hall there. Bergeron, Hall, and Pasternak. It's got to be that because you can't have Hall playing with Zaka. There's nobody will shoot the puck on that line. Like I don't think there'll be anybody to shoot the puck if they do that. It's worth the shot. He's 25 years old though. You know, I think it's worth the shot, especially just for Holla. They got to sign him to a contract now. I see what they're doing. That they're trying to get players in that age level of 25, 26. So when in a couple of years, maybe they got a shot to still be good. You know, it makes that actually kind of it makes sense. I think Sweeney did a good job on that one because Holla, I mean, he doesn't. What? Charlie Montoya's fired? Oh my God. Wow. Lauren, there you are. You got to be absolutely pissed, dude. What's the deal? Like, obviously, they must be retaining half the salary. Oh, that's a terrible signing, I think. Trocheck is, yeah. Drury's not a good general manager, man. I'm sorry, Mark. I mean, Gordon was doing a great job with that team, and he's just bringing it down the tank. Terrible. Kopp was great, and I'm not going to blame the Rangers for Kopp because Kopp is from Michigan and he wanted to go there. So they're saying uh, they're saying that Trocheck is going to go into that tool hole seamlessly with Panarin. Yeah, Trocheck is overrated, man. He's an overrated guy. Like 7 years. Holy crap. That is outrageous. Outrageous. No wonder Carolina freaking didn't even bother trying to talk to him. I can't believe Charlie Montoya got fired. My gosh, that's crazy. Why is he a huge Dairy Queen fan? I didn't know anything about I'm doing good, man. It's free agent time. It's funny how everything worked. Everything opened up for me to do this today. So it was meant to be. So what else do we got here? Oh yeah, see, they're even saying this here on TSN. Cop, I like him, but I don't like him for that much, for that long. I agree. He's a tweener, second, third. Like you look at his numbers, and let me get you guys up here so I can see you. Remember to smash that like button, everybody. Let's get a lot of people in here. Barabanov 2 years. Yeah, that was all right. They did that earlier. Finally got a goalie. Who finally got a goalie? Trocheck. You got what? 51 points last year. Honestly, and he was on a good line last year too. You know, when he was his first year with Carolina, then he had a good year. Maybe he just had a down year, but not really because before that, that was pretty much what he is, a 50-point guy. Do you really think he's that much better than Strome? I'm not sure I do. We'll see what Strome does. And again, when we're looking at these things, sometimes I don't know where I can't remember where Strome is from. He probably wants to play with his brother. I think Strome and Dylan are going to go to the same team. So that kind of left the Rangers out of both of them. And maybe this was just the only guy. This was the only guy they could get. You're sick to your stomach. Ouch. What was the trade for Burns? I still haven't seen that yet. Connor Brown to Edmonton. I love that. Nathan Steos. 5.6 for 5 years for Cop. See, that's different. Cop is younger. I like that deal. That's much better. Oh, the Coyotes signed Laurent Dauphin of Montreal. Like, who cares? On a two-way yet. Nothing yet reported. Dylan and Ryan to Toronto. Do they? I don't think they have the cap room for that, do they? 1 year, 1 million for Cabell. So I don't know. I think the Rangers got desperate there. I think the Rangers got desperate. They were. I don't even know why they didn't even have to do that. They have Hedel already. Like, what was the point of that? I don't get it. I don't get it. That is, he's got Trocheck's probably going to end up being a third line center for 7 years. And how old is he? He's up there, isn't he? 29 years old. My gosh, what an absolutely diabolically bad contract. That is brutal. Brutal contract. Please tell me there's no movement clause and stuff on that. Holy crap. That is awful. Yeah, Chikrin's going to take. I don't think Toronto's. They're going to have to trade Sandin to get Chikrin. I'm pretty sure. I can't see anything else that they could trade to get him because Chikrin's going to get. We'll see what happens because I think Chikrin is basically saying that, I get an indication that when he becomes a unrestricted free agent, he's going to Florida. That's where he's from. So that could bring it down, and then you got to know that you're not going to have him long term. Yeah, he better not have an NMC. A full NMC, that is just a horrible contract for Trocheck. Ridiculous. I mean, he's a player. He is going to help to a certain extent, but do I think the Rangers are better than they were last year? No. They're gonna have to do more yet, and then they're getting to the point where they don't have cap space. Chikrin's an amazing defenseman, so he's incredibly underrated. But like I said, you might be able to get him on the cheap if he's going to go to Florida when he's a free agent, anyways. He played for Team Canada. I think he was born in Canada but spent most of his life in Florida. It says if you look up Chikrin, Florida. I think he was born in Canada, though. And now he has to play for Canada if he plays. Oh, Calgary got Kevin Rooney for 1.3. Like, that matters. What does that do? Nothing. 1.3 million? Teams. Arizona. I'm positive it says Boca Raton or whatever, Florida. Yeah, Boca Raton, Florida, United States. That's where he was born. But so he was born in Florida and then lived mostly in Canada. So maybe he doesn't want to go to Florida. It doesn't sound like he lived most of his life there. So you're probably right. Maybe that's not the case. But regardless, that's what the thing is here is Arizona's ask for him was really high. And just like Fiala with Minnesota, they didn't get all that much for him. And it's got to the point now where these players have so much say in what they do. Because if they're 25 years old, they could just tell teams they don't want to go to. I mean, I can't do anything about going there, but I'm not going to stay there. In which case, it decreases their value like crazy. Oh my God. 4 years, 16 million? That's insane, dude. I'm going to tell. That is ridiculous. Way overpaid. Then Hook, how you doing? Way overpaid. Oh my God, that is disgusting. Trocheck and Letty now. I don't know which one's worse. I think Letty might even be worse. Who Did the Leafs get Kalniak for $750? That's nice. Who did he? Athanasiou and Domi to Chicago. That makes sense. Two guys that don't care really. Makes sense. Might just fill out roster spots and stuff. That's Letty. That Letty contract is ridiculous. Vancouver got. That's a nice little move. See, those Swedes, man, they know what they're doing. Nothing wrong with that. Kalniak he's got still a lot of upside for 750K. I think that's a great move by Vancouver. And then we haven't talked about Vancouver a lot leading up to this, but I think there's a lot to happen here for Vancouver. They're going to restructure that whole defense. I could see trades happening. Apparently, Boudreau is really pining to keep Miller, but I don't know. Yeah, he could be a good 5-6 guy. I don't know. He never got a chance in Chicago. I don't know why. When he was up, I liked him. He's gonna be one of those guys he could be one of those guys like in New Jersey. A guy I really love, Siegenthaler. He could be like a Siegenthaler. Yeah, well, if he's gonna go to Ottawa, he's gonna get a full no movement clause. I think that's kind of stretching it. He could retire before the end of that deal. Sort of like the deal with Letang. I think the deal with Letang is like, we're going to give you till you're 41 years old, but when we say that it's time to retire, you're going to retire. So if you can keep yourself in a position where you can be that value until you're 41, great. But, that's not very likely. And I think he retires before the end of that deal. More than likely, Giroux. Giroux, on the other hand, though, he is, and I don't know, maybe Letang is too, but I know I haven't heard about it, but Giroux is like a fitness fiend. Like he might be able to push that contract. I don't know. He's 30 some years old though, isn't he? He's 34 or something like that. It's not likely. 3 years. It's 3 years. With the full no movement till he's 37. Yeah, we'll see. But I don't mind that deal. They need a veteran like that. I think Carolina could have did something like that. I still think they could use a guy like that. But yeah, you're not signing Giroux with any idea of trading him anyway, so you might as well give him the full no movement clause. One year, $3 million in Chicago. Okay, might as well go there. Yeah, Domi just wants to play hockey like kind of part time. He's a skateboarder. He does a whole bunch of stuff. His problem has always been commitment. So he's a guy on the roster. And if Athanasiou goes there too, pretty much the same thing. They're going to suck horribly. He can try to pad his stats there and try to get a bigger contract the year after, but it makes sense for Chicago because they don't care if they win or not. Well, getting Trocheck out was a great move, especially for that price. Athanasiou got the same contract. Kane signed with the Oilers, yeah. $5 million for 4 years. I don't mind the contract, I guess. I don't mind. Hopefully he doesn't decline. But the thing is, we're going to lose Puljujärvi, and that really pisses me off. But I can't see them getting past the first round. I mean, if both of those goaltenders are as bad as they have been, I mean, seriously have a tough time even making the playoffs. Like really, both of those goaltenders have been diabolically bad the last 2 years. So very weird. Now they got to have a sports psychologist that says I can work with them and stuff like that. We've seen it happen before, where they take these guys and turn them around, and who knows. But it didn't work with Mrazek. They got Campbell. Like Campbell had serious anxiety issues, and somehow they did manage to get Campbell to have some great runs. But Connor Brown to the Oilers, I'm hearing, and I like that. I like that. Some bottom six scoring. Woo! Holland's brother, Bob Holland or something like that. I just posted it on Twitter and on my Facebook. He is a huge analytics guy, and thank God for that. And apparently, Kenny Holland is listening to him. Let's look at that Chicago team and see what it's going to look like here. Oh my God. Ilya Mikheyev signs with the Lyubushkin to Buffalo. Okay, it's all right. Ilya Mikheyev signs with the Vancouver Canucks, and I have a feeling for 4 years at $4.75 million, and I have a feeling that is the exit for Connor Garland. Connor Garland's been on the trade block like crazy. I think they're going to try to use Connor Garland and some more to get some defensemen. Bye Garland, yeah. Connor Garland is likely gone. Now, where would Connor Garland go? There's a lot of like Kopp, although he doesn't play center. I think there's a lot of teams that will be interested in a Connor Garland. And Lane Peterson for Steven Lorentz, 33% of his contract retained. So 800,000, 1,600, 2,400 at $6 million. I don't know why. I guess D'Angelo's attitude must be a problem, because I don't know why you just don't sign D'Angelo for that if you're going to take this old Burns. More veteran. You do get that veteran guy who is, his attitude is very Carolina-ish, off the wall, stuff like that. And, I have been saying they really could use a grizzled veteran there. So I guess that's their guy now that they got for that. Lorenz doesn't really do much of anything. That too, I don't know anything about Mekaniemi and a conditional third. Lane Peterson is basically the same as Lorentz, so that's a wash. Interesting move, I gotta say. I mean, Burns is still very solid offensively. He's not. He's terrible defensively. Comrie to Buffalo. Nice move by Buffalo. Wow. Nice move by Buffalo. I mean, it's not their one. How long? How many years? 2. He took Comrie had a good year in Winnipeg last year. He's gonna get, and he brings a great attitude to that room. He lightens up the room. He's a very funny guy, like belly laugh funny. Everybody loves him. Oh, he's a goalie prospect. Okay. San Jose is, I like what San Jose did at the draft when they traded down and grabbed a whole bunch of picks. I think that's what they got to do. They got to, because they have really good scouts there. They got to trust their scouts and like trade down every year and just grab prospect after prospect after prospect. So I just got to put in some picks here. Yeah, Coquette. Well, yeah, Coquette. Yeah, that's the plan. And Kochetkov. Yeah, that's right. That's the guy. And Kokiniemi, I think I was thinking of Kokiniemi, but I think Kokiniemi is going to be much better next year. Will the Leafs push for Louis Eriksson? I would hope not, but who knows? I don't think the Leafs are going to do too much now. I don't know what they can do. They don't have much for cap space. I could see them, maybe the Leafs, Connor Garland. They could use a guy like that. But, I mean, he's small again. He doesn't play small, though. He plays really big. There was talk of Connor Garland to Edmonton, but if they're picking up Brown, I don't think that's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I guess you play him with Slavin. Poor Slavin. Slavin's going to have to do everything now if he plays with him. I think Slavin's a right-hander, though, right? I think aren't they both right? I'm almost positive Burns is a righty. They don't have him in here yet. Oh, yeah. No, he'll play with Slavin. He is a lefty, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, he'll play with Slavin. I guess you couldn't get a better defenseman to play with a guy that doesn't play defense. So it'd be Burns and Slavin, Shea and Pesci. They lost Smith. Are they going to give Chatfield probably will make the lineup next year. They're going to give LeJoe that a big chance there. I think there's still more going on in Carolina. I would say there's more going on in Carolina yet. They'll probably add some depth too. I know he's 37, but he does like it almost doesn't matter with him. Halak to the Rangers. Okay. One thing about Halak to the Rangers is like that's going to be heavy competition. Halak is an arrogant a-hole, so and I kind of got the idea that Shesterkin wasn't all that great with Georgiev either. So probably best to get a veteran, but I mean, he had a couple good games last year. You guys are right on this more than I am, but I'll just talk about it. You tell me what's happening. Burns is right-handed, yeah. So he's going to play with Slavin. Yeah, that's the one. I think that's a bit of a misstep for Colorado. Maybe the only misstep they've made in a long time. It's pretty overrated in my eyes to give them that many years for that price, but that's all I've heard is Klingberg to Ottawa, and it's okay, I suppose. I'm not a big Klingberg guy. It does add a little bit more to their defense, which was really where it needs help now. Their top six is great now. White to Florida for $1,200 on a 1 year. So that means Mason Marchment. Watch where he goes. Mason Marchment could go anywhere. That's a guy like if I'm Calgary, now that I lost Goudreau, if they want to stay competitive, I'm looking at guys like Mason Marchment, some like $2 or $3, $5 million guys and go with depth, almost like the Nashville Predators, who, by the way, I think would also be on Mason Marchment. Sounds like Florida's not going to be able to sign him. So they got White. Watch now White go crazy in Florida. How many times have we seen that? They pick up a guy like Mason Marchment or Verhage, and then they just go crazy in Florida. We'll see if that happens again. Yeah, Cop to the Red Wings was a beautiful move. What are they saying about Colorado? Oh, yeah, we still got Kadri. Kadri hasn't gone anywhere. Yeah, he's whatever. He's a character guy. All those words. Why? Okay, why would Stevie Y get Sherratt? I hope he didn't pay too much for him. He got Sherratt, really? Why would he do that? Red Wings in on Ben Sherratt. Oh no. I don't know why they would do that. I'm surprised by that. Stevie Eisman's a big analytics guy. Why would he? Sherratt's poor defensively. Like I'm sure he's going to get over. He's going to get. Bergeron will go to Boston. Goudreau's going to go to New Jersey. Kadri, I think Boston as well. I have a feeling they're going to find a way to get him in Boston. My number one for him was Nashville, though. There was talk about Calgary, but then I forgot he turned down Calgary to go to Colorado. They had a deal for him and he nixed it. So I don't think Calgary's going to be it. Unless, like he was like, oh, nothing against Calgary, but there was a more immediate of a cup spot there for him. Nemeshnikov to Tampa, nice little move. Yes, PK to Toronto for $1 million. Yeah, we got Mackay up to Vancouver, and I think Garland's gone if that's the case. Yaroslav Polak for $1.5 million, 1 year. Colin White for $1.2 million is a good play by Florida. I like that. Where did Oli Mata to Detroit too? Wow. Why? What's Stevie Y doing, man? I mean, I like the cop move, but Mata and Sherrod are terrible defensively. Just the grit factor? Really? I'm watching. I had Tia. I'm going back and forth. Why are you asking? Yeah, I think that's pretty much all Florida does. Although I heard like a big, like I said, a big trade for Chikrin, but yeah, might as well for cheaper too. I agree. Petrano to Anaheim. Well, I forgot all about Petrano. Nice move. Good move by Anaheim. Good first shot shooter. They got a lot of first shot shooters there. Like they're going to be shooting from everywhere next year. 3-6 each year. It's a good one. Adam Gaudette to the Leafs. So the Leafs are just doing what they all did last year. They're trying to find their bargain basement guys like Gaudette and Obe Kubel and hope they stick. Gaudette just wears out his welcome immediately. He can't play defense at all. The only thing Gaudette can do is skate with the puck on his stick and shoot. He's got a very good shot, really good shot, but he can't do much else. Obe Kubel is a fourth line guy. Well, that's not the only ones available. We got Kemper still out there, Perron, Burakovsky, Palat. There's a lot to go yet. No, I'm on the Canadian thing. Sportsnet for me is Jones. Are you suggesting that or are you saying that? Dylan Strome to Toronto. I don't know how they're going to get, because I think Dylan and Ryan are going to go together. I think. Maybe they don't have a great relationship as brothers, I guess. So I can't see how they get both of them. Let me bring up Toronto here. Okay, what's 2.22 million in cap space. But like you said, if they trade Kerfoot and Hall, Kerfoot's 3 million. From what I understand, Ryan's looking for that 5 million spot. And Dylan, I don't know what you're going to give him. I don't know what you're going to give Dylan. I think he'll probably get 3.5 to 4 on a short term, maybe to continue proving himself. So that's like $8 million. Who's got $8 million? I got a feeling that Seattle for both. Although they got a lot of centers coming up. If somebody's going to get both, it's going to be one of those teams that I would imagine have a lot of cap space, so not that great. Maybe the Calgary Flames. After they lose Gaudreau, they get the Strome brothers together there. They got Kevin Rooney from the Rangers, so maybe they're just gonna bring Ryan Strome and Dylan Strome in. I could see it. I could see Calgary doing that. Where are they? Where? That's what I was gonna look up. Unrestricted free agents. Calvin DeHaan is still out there. I like him. I like him a lot. I could see Florida for DeHaan. Ryan Strome. From Ontario. So they are Canadian. Yeah, we got Domi to the Blackhawks already. Oh, Kulak re-signs with Edmonton. I like that. I'm glad they did that. They get Matthew Strome, yeah. Isn't he in Philadelphia's system or something now? No, he's not the best GM in the NHL. But his brother seems to be doing the right things here. Campbell is $5 million, 5 years in Edmonton. Yeah. Campbell's 5 years, $5 million in Edmonton. I'm on the fence about that. So Ben Sherrod hasn't gone to Detroit yet, but usually when they say that they're in on it, that's where it's going to be. But I like that signing for Edmonton. Yeah, but is he the best? I think his son or whoever. It's another Holland. I think it's his son or somebody like that, Bob Holland or whatever. He's a huge analytics guy, and he's saying that he wants to keep Puljujärvi. So happy for him to say that. Kane to stay in Edmonton. We'll see. We'll see. He looks like another Neil to me. I could see his decline being pretty steep now, but we'll see. I just heard what? Some Tampa Bay just signed somebody. I didn't hear who it was. Sorelli got 8 years, 8 million. Oh, Sergachev got 8 years, 8 million. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that's beautiful. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. That is a sweet deal. My gosh, they signed amazing contracts there in Tampa Bay. Wow. He's a #1 left defenseman on any team. Marchment to Carolina, beautiful. Nice pickup by them. Nice pickup by them. That is a beautiful pickup by them. How much? Palat's gone, yeah. 4 years, nice term. That is a great pickup by Carolina. Wow. Sorry, I'm looking up some stuff here. No, I don't think Toronto's going to. I can't see Samsonov winning a cup. Like they're expecting both of those kids to all of a sudden turn it around. Just boom, one of them. 4 years, 2.7. Nothing wrong with that. That's a fair deal for Kulak. 5'6" guy. Very good defensively. Again, analytics-driven assistant general manager there. Maybe I'm having some optimism that they might find a spot for Puljujärvi yet. He did the Bob Holland put out a message saying the true, analytically speaking, everybody that played with Puljujärvi was better playing with him. It'd just be silly to let him go for nothing. Honestly, I would keep him over Yamamoto, but at this point, I think they might have ruined it now. They might end up losing him. We got Nino Niederreiter. Yeah, Grice to help out Binnington there. I think that's a good pickup. Way better than the Letty one. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. But Grice for to help Binnington get his head straight, because Allen had a terrible time with him there. Yeah, Barry, get rid of Barry. Yeah, absolutely. That'll just be the Keith retired. They trade Barry away. Keep Puljujärvi, Kulak, and then if they can get another defenseman on top of it, like Carson Soucy from Seattle or something like that. Oh my gosh, everything going exactly as planned. I don't even mind the Kane contract because he scores. He scores. You can't deny that he scores. Nobody knows what Marchman's contract yet. I think my guess is he goes to Boston, but Boston has to make some room somehow for that to happen. The Holla for there's a few things that have to happen. I have a feeling he's going to Boston. If not, I think Nashville's in on him quite a bit. If he's okay not going back out east, because he's from on Toronto, so I don't know if he wants to go closer to home or not. I don't know much about him, but Calgary Flames signed Nicholas Milosh from San Jose. Oh, Anthony Cirelli signs for 8 years, 6.25. So they're signing in-house there in Tampa Bay. Kadri's not going back to Toronto. Stalick? Is he still alive? He pulled another contract? My gosh, that guy hasn't played in 2 years. Wow. Mrazek, injury-riddled Mrazek, Stalick's injury-riddled. Like, they are so tanking, it is unbelievable. Good job at tanking, though. They're doing a hell of a job at tanking. Getting Athanasiou and Domi to play in your top 6, I mean, it pretty much guarantees you're going to suck. Anthony Cirelli, 8 years, 6.5 million. It seems like it. I think he'll go to the Rangers. Kane, yeah. Dustin Tokarski to Pittsburgh. Oh, really? Okay, to be a third. Is that a one-way contract? Wow. So he'll play in the minors, I would imagine, because they do have DeSmith. Dakota Joshua, nice pickup. Probably a two-way deal, I would imagine. So Vancouver's picking up some guys that can play hard. They're in their bottom 6. A two-way contract is all Bukestad could get in Arizona? Wow. How the mighty have fallen. Yeah, I imagine they're going to trade Hedel, and that's just stupid. Like if I'm Chicago taking Hedel for Kane, that would be a good start to their rebuild. Nice move if they do that. Panarin, Trocheck, Kane. Just like I said, no five. Like they don't want to score 5-on-5. They don't care about 5-on-5. They're just going to score on the power play all year. All year. Kane will love it because it's just two guys passing to him all day. Panarin doesn't shoot anywhere near enough anymore. He doesn't go into the spots that he needs to. I know that's the reason. I know, Mark, you have said, unless they can convince Panarin to get back into those spots and shoot, that contract's terrible. That's not a bad contract, 6.25 for Cirelli. That's a pretty good contract. It'll probably be, he'll probably outplay that contract, I think. They're talking about Montreal now. Montreal's another one I could see the Strome brothers going to, I suppose, because they're from Toronto. They would be a good gap filler until they're good again, depending on the length of the contract. Chernak, they got Chernak signed too? 5.2 for Chernak, wow. Just beautiful contracts. Beautiful contract. You think that's a bad contract? Chernak's great. You're looking for the I don't see the positive there. Shesterkin's going to lose his mind when that line is out on the ice. I'll tell you that. Shesterkin won't even know what Kane looks like until the season's over. Like Kane is absolutely terrible defensively. Oh, you say yikes because yeah, they just keep on pounding out amazing contracts over and over and over again. Chernak 5, like Sergachev at 8.5 is going to age very, very well. That contract in 5 years is going to look absolutely beautiful, maybe even before then. They know what to do. They're doing there, man. Sign your young guys long for the value of the day, and that's the way Colorado's done it. Tampa Bay. I like that Sabres pick up a Comrie. I think that was a nice little move, man. He really had a like his best year of his career last year, and he's still young. He's getting into the. I think he's going to be fantastic. I think he could. That could end up being one of the best signings of the year. Yeah, Igor won't know what Kane looks like. He won't. He won't have a clue. He's like, well, one of the things that Tampa Bay has there is they have a great tax situation there, so they use that a lot. You would think Florida would be able to use that as well, and maybe they will when we see like Huberdeau contracts and stuff like that. And they won 3 cups, so they built a pretty solid. You win cups a couple times with the team, and you get to be part of that. You don't want to leave, right? So you end up there. It's just a great formula. It's a great formula. Like they they did well. They won cups, and now people like Sergachev's taken probably a good million less than he could have got on the open market, maybe even more, to stay there. You got a good tax system. It's warm. You know, you have a lot of reasons to stay there. Yeah, 6.5 million over the cap. So yeah, there's still more to be done there. Let's look at Tampa Bay. Because you can be 10 million over the cap in the regular season. Do they have anybody going on IR? Oh yeah, Brent Seabrook, right? Brent Seabrook goes on IR and they're under the cap. And they picked up Ian Cole, beautiful move. Oh yeah, that little move by getting Nemeshnikov too. I mean, that's a nice little move. Playing with Paul and Colton, having that kind of speed, bringing some offense to that group. Man, oh man, they're a contender all over again. There's no reason why that team can't win another cup next year. Yeah, so Seabrook will cover it on a long-term injury. Yeah. Still, Kadri's holding out, so I think Kadri's pushing for every dollar here. He signs in LA. They kept him in LA. I have a feeling. I figured they would keep him in LA because he's a restricted, right? So. Yeah, it's not a bad deal. I like him. Like, there's guy. I have an affinity for guys that piss everybody off. I like Brendan Lemieux. I like all those guys. I like Marchand. I like Kadri. I like guys that piss everybody off. And I know Brendan Lemieux, like his offense is okay. On the ice, I mean, he's barely an NHL player, but he does create havoc out there. And they need it. LA doesn't have really many guys like that there, especially after getting Fiala. Like Fiala, LA is like the New Jersey of the West, where they have a pretty small team, unless Byfield can knock it out of the park here and there for a while. And the guys that are big kind of play small, although Kaliev could change that up too. Perron's holding up for max dollars. We were saying that maybe Perron to Colorado. I could see that. This will be the first time that Perron's been traded several times. He's played on many different teams, but he always signed contracts with St. Louis. This is going to be the first year in his career he didn't sign a contract with St. Louis. And it looks like Palat is out. I had Palat possibly to Nashville if they don't get Kadri. Maybe even if they do. If they, like, I don't know if they got the cap space for that, but they grabbed McDonough, right? So I could see him going and playing with McDonough in Nashville. They need cups. They get cups in there in Nashville. You know, he's a great playoff guy. They haven't had success in the playoffs for a long time. So I would not be surprised if Palat gets his max dollar in Nashville if he's willing to go to something like that. No one's taking Gardner off of no. I'm gonna go to the washroom. I'll be right back, guys. Hello. Yeah, Palat's for sure gone. Yeah, I think Nashville. I think McDonough went there. They have a spot for him. I think Nashville's going to go hard here. You don't go out and get McDonough and sign Forsberg if you're not going to give her a go. Um, they have, you know, Tolvanen really hasn't hit it out of the park there for a while. I could see them using him to acquire something else. And you'd have Forsberg, Granlund, Duchesne, which was a good line last year. Palat, Ryan Johansson, and Philippe Tomasino. It's okay. Tomasino, I think, is going to be excellent. 20 years old, 32 points. And then, of course, Tanner Jeannot. Love, love, love. What do they have for cap space? $9 million. So they wouldn't be able to get Kadri then. I liked Kadri going there too as a possibility. Unless they found a way to move some contract somehow. Maybe they find a place for Ryan Johansson and sign Kadri instead. I think that would be an upgrade. I think we're going to see a lot more here today, guys. I think we're going to see a lot more here today. Nashville signed back Forsberg, yep. Well, you sign Forsberg and you trade for McDonough, you're not, like, you're going for it. So they're not done. They're going to be adding something else. I had Kadri as my number one possibility for him going to Nashville, if not. But now that I think about it, Palat makes more sense. You got some cups there. You got a deep team. I mean, you don't really have superstars, but you have a deep enough team that you could do some damage. Well, I think they really got to get a backup to help Sorrow, so they played him way too much last year. Nito Niederreiter's still out there. I think Nito Niederreiter is asking too high. He always does. It's the reason why he goes from team to team to team. Yeah, I don't know. Like now that I kind of thought maybe that Detroit, but I just couldn't see Sakic putting all that much money out there, and he didn't. Uh, we were talking last night about Palat going to the Dallas Stars too. Somebody to help Ben and those guys. Now, like how much cap room they don't sign Klingberg. They've got quite a bit of cap space, Dallas. But like everybody needs to be signed next year. Ropo Hintz, Joe Pavelski, he'll probably take 1 year deals from now on. They got to fill out a lot of roster spots next year, but I think they could do it. I could see Palat to Dallas. We talked about that last night. Palat to play with Ben and Seguin and bring some cup pedigree to that room. I could definitely see that. Nashville and Dallas would be my two that I think that he would go to. AJ Greer. Yeah, it's too bad his skating is not that great, AJ Greer, because he could have been a really good player in this league, but skating just never was a. He's drafted by Colorado, or I know he was in the Colorado organization. Maybe he was drafted by LA, something like that, but. Well, PK will sign somewhere for $1 million or something like that. I think he'll sign somewhere for $1 million, maybe Toronto. Chicago. There, go to Chicago. Jones is there. You can go hang out with your friend Jones in Chicago. If he doesn't care about winning a cup or anything. Toronto needs PK, yeah. Van Hook. Toronto needs PK. At least I know it won't be Edmonton. That's good. At one time, I thought I would think that it was possible, but. Did I miss anything here? Oh yeah, but Toronto to Anaheim. I like that play. That was a sneaky good little play there. How does that work out for them? Oh, Darcy Kemper signs 5-year, $26 million contract. So he didn't get his 6 that he was looking for. So he does go to Washington. Washington really had no choice but to do something like that. Yeah, Burnett's going to the New Jersey Devils staff. That makes sense. You got an old guy like Ruff there. You could be in line for a coaching position. Well, it was pretty much set in stone that Kemper was going to Washington. It was just a case of the price. Yeah, well, I don't like a lot of people are saying I can't believe they did that, but I can because they don't need much of a backup and they had no cap space. So They just got to go out and get a backup. The problem with that I have with this deal is that Kemper gets hurt a lot. And what are they going to do if he gets hurt long term? Like, they got nothing. They're really rolling the dice that Kemper's going to be able to play, 50 games or something like that. And he just never does. They don't have one. Copley, they'll have to get a backup goaltender now. Who that'll be? Who's still available? Like somebody for $1 million or less. Got to be $1 million or less. So, but with Vegas getting or Anaheim getting Vetrano, and it doesn't surprise me they got Vetrano because he's like kind of Pat Verbeekish in a lot of ways. In fact, he's almost the exact same size as Pat Verbeek, 5'11", 200 pounds. So, Pat Verbeek is the general manager of Anaheim. But, they got a pretty decent lineup going there. Young, he brings a little bit of veteran leadership. He's one-shot shooter. Here they have him with Adam Henrique, who's a playmaker. It gives Mason McTavish, he'll eventually could play with Mason McTavish. Maybe he goes up on the top line with Zegras. That's because he's just a Vetrano is just a shooter. He just shoots from everywhere. Ooh, we got up. Let's get up to double digits likes, guys. We're up to 7. 7 likes. I mean, if they can find the space, they got to move Bailey. I thought the Islanders were going to be on. I thought the Islanders were going to be in on Goudreau, and they were going to, because Lamoriello has a way of making space when he needs to. But Palat to the Islanders does make sense. It's their type of player, all that kind of stuff like that. I really would like to see Barzal get a more creative guy on his wing, though. He plays a lot exactly like Pat Verbeek used to play. Pat Verbeek was better offensively, but it kind of doesn't surprise me that they picked him up. And what did he get for that? He got 2 years, 3.6. It's not bad. I'm surprised somebody didn't do a little better than that for Frank Vetrano, actually. I'm surprised there wasn't. I don't know why he would have won. Where is he from? He's from Boston, so he's going like Massachusetts. Yeah, he's from Massachusetts, so he's going way away from home for this. I think for this, it's just an he's pretty much got a for sure spot on the top 6 there. Kulak to the Oilers. I like that move. I still haven't found out what that Mason Marchment deal is. Colorado Avalanche signed Charles Hudon. Wow, Charles Hudon, this isn't like a big signing or anything, but he got a $450K deal in the AHL on a 2-way contract. That's unheard of. Good for him. Montreal Canadiens expected to sign Madison Bowey. Okay. Gravel to sign. A whole bunch of little signings here. So, oh yeah, that's right. With Pittsburgh signing Tokarski, that means that Domingue is available again. And Tokarski's probably a better goaltender than Domingue. Yeah, Ouellette got signed up with Pittsburgh. He's not really an NHL defenseman anymore, so. Yeah, Vetrano started in Boston, yeah. Yeah, and I liked him there too. I always liked Vetrano. Those one-shot shooters are hard to find. Just the guys that can score from anywhere like that. Before they picked up Fiala, I thought LA might give him a shot because they're shoot from everywhere, those guys. But so does Fiala, so. Oh, one-way 900K. That makes sense. So he gets to go play in that college arena. College arena for 900K. Keeps getting NHL contracts, though. They're actually going to have a pretty big team, Arizona. Lawson Krause and who did they get from? Richie, Bukestad. Pretty big team. Oh, yeah. So apparently Hayes is more injured than they like to pretend. Like his career might even be over. So I think Kadri's going to Philly. If Hayes can't play, if his career's over and he's going to be going on IR, Kadri's going to Philly. I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it. No doubt about it. Probably overpay all the crap for him. I mean, they're going to be that annoying team, and you have Tortorella there. You got Tortorella there. They like guys like he likes guys like Kadri. They hate the opposition. He loves it. They're going to Philly. He's going to Philly. If Hayes is really injured, as they say, almost for sure. Tortorella will be wanting them to bring him there because he just absolutely loves guys that hates the opposition. And Kadri hates the opposition. So Tortorella's going to bring that to Philadelphia again. That was the identity that they always had before. It's what he believes in. He believes that when you're on the ice, you hate the other team. He doesn't like guys saying, tap in the other opposition's pads before games and say, that they used to play for and stuff like that. He wants you to go out there and hate the opposition. And if you want to bring that identity to your team, Kadri is sure it. You can say whatever you want about Kadri. He certainly hates the opposition. So I have a feeling he's going there. Kulak got a 4-year too, eh? Nice. He's from Alberta, Kulak. Well, I'm going to go over to TSN for a bit here. Frenzy. So who we got? Okay, we got Kadri. If Kadri's going If Kadri's going to Philly, and I think if Hayes is really injured like they say he is, Goudreau's for sure going to New Jersey. Then you've got guys like, then you got like second tier guys like Niederreiter. Niederreiter could go to so many different teams. I could see him going, now that they picked up Bertrano, I could see him going to the Chicago Blackhawks. Columbus Blue Jackets. I could see him going to Columbus Blue Jackets. I could see him possibly going to Montreal. Montreal makes a lot of sense for Niederreiter because Montreal doesn't mind these aloof guys. They've had them there all the time. He's relatively young. I could see Montreal for Niederreiter. I don't think Carolina's going to re-sign him. Yeah, well, I think he can play higher than that, to tell you the honest truth, Marchment. He's one of those guys like Kopp. But, I mean, he had great numbers last year in Florida. And if he keeps that up, they still don't have him in there. But, oh, yeah, they got Nietzsche's. I mean, I could see him playing with Kokeniemi and Svechnikov. I think he can play left and right, too, if I remember correctly. I thought he could play both sides. Maybe I'm mistaken. Let me take a look there. Where is Marchment? Burakovsky's still out there. Klingberg. How come they don't have Justin Schultz? He went to Seattle already. Why didn't they have him there? Where the heck is I'm trying to find Marchment. Oh yeah, Rudolph Balzers was left out there. There's a sneaky pickup for Toronto. I don't know. I don't know why San Jose did that. I would be looking at Rudolph Balzers. That's another guy that nice sneaky pick up. Huh. Oh no, he wouldn't be there. That's right. How come they don't have him in? See, they haven't actually made that official yet. I can't find him anywhere now. Bringing a cop, yeah. Oh, Nemeth traded to Arizona? Hello, Chanel. How you doing? Chanel, is that how you say it? Hey, Oreo, how you doing, buddy? It's kind of got a little quiet now. They're going to push all these big signings right to the end. What should... So I think Kadri to Philly, Goudreau to New Jersey, and they're just waiting on it for some reason. I don't know why. They just keep on waiting. Probably just to make it... I think they're doing television stuff now. I think Bettman has told them, hold out and make it so there's action for TV all the way through here. I'm just sharing this out here for a second. Johnny, oh, to New Jersey. Johnny's going to New Jersey. Pretty positive he's going to New Jersey. It would be a big surprise. And I think Philly's going to get Kadri because I apparently Hayes is going to be out. Hayes' injury problems don't seem to be subsiding. He's a perfect guy. Like Tortorella loves guys like him. So that would be my thinking there. I think the fight, I think, is between Philadelphia and Boston for Kadri. Maybe Nashville. And if Philadelphia loses out on Kadri, then it's really up in the air what's going to happen there. So let's go down the free agents that we have available here, and we'll see if we can figure out where they are going to go. PK Subban will probably take $1 million or $2 million somewhere. Where? I'm not sure. I could see Seattle doing something like that. I could see Seattle doing something like that. Phil Kessel, that was an interesting one. I like the Edmonton Oilers for Phil Kessel. He's a better player than people give him credit for. Like he Mason Marchment, another team is in on him. There's lots of teams that will be in on him. Calgary should be in on him. Mason Marchment went to Dallas. That 4 times 4.5. Wow. Dallas goes in and scoops him up. Nice move by Dallas. Now you got, wow, that's a, I mean, that's a pretty, that lineup is made for the playoffs. You got to say it, but yeah, 4 times 4.5. So we were talking about Palat for that, but they went with Mason Marchment instead. Saved themselves from some cap space. I like it. I like anybody who got Mason Marchment. So okay, I say Palat to Nashville. Niederreiter to like pretty much anywhere. I think Montreal. It feels like Montreal to me. They have Riley Smith here, but I was pretty sure Vegas signed Riley Smith. I know they did. Andre Burakovsky, I have no idea where he's going to go. Maybe now that's something Carolina looks at. Burakovsky. So it gives you an idea. If Carolina was in on a guy like Mason Marchment, they're probably in on a guys like that. Burakovsky's not really like that. But he can play right and left. I don't know if they're willing, because obviously they were willing to be in the 4.5 million range. How about David Perron? He goes everywhere. I think he's going to Colorado. I think that would be mine for Colorado. Klingberg sounds like Ottawa. There's Paul Stastny's out there. That he still puts it out there, not too bad at 36 years old. Kubalik, of course, had a bad year last year, but I mean that was a brutal situation. Before that, he played well. Kubalik. These are the guys that I like to look at. There's these bottom dwelling guys. Like if you were a team like Calgary, you could go for guys like, you could bring the Strome brothers in. You know, now that you didn't sign Gaudreau. Now, the big problem they have is what's Tkachuk going to do now? The rumors have been going out that he's going to St. Louis. Yeah, I doubt that they're, well, I mean, I don't know about that, Lauren. I would have been with you on that. But with Ottinger there, you just never know. I mean, he's beastly. And the thing about Marchment, though, as much as I did like watching him play, he really only had one good year. He could end up going to Dallas and just being like, you know, he could end up being overpaid. Probably not, but you got Oscar Lindblom is out there. He's probably going to sign for $1 million somewhere. I could see a guy like Oscar Lindblom going to Chicago because Chicago wants those feel-good stories right now. They need to feel good in that organization. Another interesting one out there that hasn't been signed, there hasn't been too many defensemen signed, is Nikita Zadorov. Zadorov had a great year last year with Sutter, under Sutter. I like, the first thing that comes to mind is Philly, but I don't think they're going to have enough, especially if they get Kadri. They won't have enough. Zadorov. Team that needs defense like really bad. Really bad. At this point, I think he's going for as much money as possible. Columbus. I bet you he goes to Columbus. They've been trying to get defense all year. Who were they trying to trade for? And they were trying to trade for a defenseman just recently. I can't remember who it was, but they're looking to add defensemen as much as possible. It seems so. I think they got cap space. As long as he doesn't mind, if he doesn't mind going to Calgary, he probably doesn't mind going to Columbus. Kekalainen's an analytics guru, so he'll know that Zadorov's defensive numbers last year were fantastic. I could see the Bruins doing that if, depending on who they get to fill the second line spot. Buffalo just got Lyabushkin. I think they're done. Oh, Detroit Red Wings. That's who I would be doing instead of Sherratt. Go for Zadorov. Zadorov would be way better than Sherratt and cheaper. Oh, but they already got Mata. I don't know what the heck. And Wallman. I don't know what he's doing on D. I guess he's just finding guys to fill the roles until Edvinsson and yeah, that's the thing. Zadorov probably wants term because Edvinsson and Vollander are coming in now soon, so they're just looking for some guys to hold the fort until they come in. I guess that makes sense. I don't know why they would. I don't think they're going to be in on Sherratt then. Ottawa would be a great place for him. Ottawa would be a good place for him. Where was he before? He was in Chicago. Started in Buffalo. Then I want to say it was it the Islanders that got him? No, Colorado. He went from Buffalo. Zadorov started in Buffalo. That was a hot mess. He ended up getting traded to Colorado. That was a big trade too. I can't remember who they got. Was that O'Reilly? That was part of the O'Reilly deal. Then he went to Chicago, I believe, now to Calgary. So he's not opposed to going to Canada. Ottawa would be a perfect spot for him. Instead of blowing their money on Klingberg, who is probably going to get way overpaid, I would be on Zadorov if I were them. Yeah, you're pissed, are you, Lauren? Marchment chose to go there instead. They were probably offering him maybe 4 years at 4. And at this stage, like $2 million to Marchment's a lot. Apparently, like Florida's trading Uyghur for some reason. I have no idea why. So because they're gonna sign Sherratt, that's why, which is stupid. I don't know. I thought he was a good general manager, but now I'm starting to wonder. You're gonna trade Uyghur away, but you're gonna keep Sherratt? That's ridiculous. Like, I wonder what they'll get for Uyghur. That'll be one of the more interesting trades. What should we get for Uyghur? Nino, oh, you might go back to Carolina? He went and checked out the market and realized that it's not that much as much as he thought. Yeah, if they don't get Marchment, maybe they bring Nito back, right? Colin Blackwell to Chicago. My gosh. Yeah, he's going to get top 6 minutes in Chicago. Why not? That team is going to be so pathetic. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, yeah, I can only imagine. Okay, no, because Sherratt's a right-handed. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why they want to trade Uyghur so bad. I've heard it over and over and over again. I've heard it so many times. They're trading Uyghur. They're trading Uyghur. I don't get it. Yeah, that makes sense that he would go back to Carolina now. He probably went out in the market and realized you can't get as much as he thought. But who else could Carolina get? Obviously, they're looking for somebody on the wing. So Burakovsky could be there. Not sure I like that too much. He is a shooter. They do need shooters. He does have a great shot off the wing. Ryan Strome could play right side. He's a right winger. I don't know. Palat will probably be overpaid for what they want to pay. They're probably priced out of Palat. Paul Stastny. It's getting pretty thin, buddy. It's getting pretty thin. Well, Zach Sanford's still out there. I thought Winnipeg for sure would re-sign him. That's weird. Matthias Janmark. Like, there's not much out there, dude. I think Niederreiter probably is their best option now. Well, I said there was one good sneaky one there. Who was that I was saying? Sneaky good pickup. Well, I wonder if Pittsburgh brings back Evan Rodriguez, maybe him. He's got a lot of speed. Who was that? I said there was one sneaky good one. Oh, Rudolph Balcers. I would go with Rudolph Balcers. For they probably could get him for pretty cheap, and I really like the guy. He's not going to have as much offense as Marchment did, but he's Brindamore type player. Hmm. Arizona has acquired Patrick Nemeth in exchange for Ty. Oh, so Carolina gets a second round pick in 2025. And in additional, they get 2 seconds to take Nemeth. Wow. A 25 and a 26. That Armstrong is an awesome GM, man. Just, I'll take whatever assets. I don't care how far down the road they are. Let's see what Arizona's team looks like. Because Chicago's going to be really bad. We'll look at Arizona and Chicago. So it'd be Keller, Hayton, and Schmaltz, which was their first line. Barrett Hayton, wonder if he'll take a step up next year. Call Nathan Smith, who probably shouldn't be playing in the NHL yet, but Krause and Boyd. Ritchie, Jack McBain, and Fisher. And then Bukestad, Cassian, oh my gosh, and Ladd. That line will get eaten alive if they ever get on, if they ever are on with the number one line of most teams. Shane, like Nemeth doesn't even make their roster, I don't think. Or maybe they don't have him in here yet. Yeah, he probably makes the roster. If I don't know if Connor Timmins is coming back or not. But Gosh Despear, Mayo, Dyson Mayo, who did come on strong last year when they played him. Janice Moser, he actually played really well last year. Jacob Chikrin, I don't know if they're going to move him or not. Stetcher and Nemeth, my gosh. And then Vimelka and Provitzov. Okay, let's look at Chicago. So Talbot must have been pretty choked when they got Fleury, eh? Wow. Brought Fleury back. That's a good, what's his name? Biron from TSN said that Talbot is as good as Campbell. That's about I agree with that. Which is not a goaltender that screams winning a cup, to tell you the honest truth. But maybe with that Oilers team, impact team, the way they're building it, they might be able to do what Colorado did. And win without average goaltender, which... Yeah, that would make sense. I think Rodriguez is going to stay with Pittsburgh, though. He's just waiting it out there. Like, I think Rodriguez figured out when he went to Buffalo that his best chance at success is probably in the Pittsburgh system. So I think he'll end up staying there unless he gets overpaid by somebody. Why did I do Ottawa? I didn't want to look at Ottawa. So, okay, I'll look at Ottawa quick before I go to Chicago. Kachuk, Norris, and Giroux. I'm not sure. I think I would keep Batherson on that line. Norris is a shooter. Okay, maybe not. Yeah, Norris is a shooter. Yeah, that's a good line. And DeBrincat, Stützle, and Batherson. Woo! What a top six, man. I'm telling you that they need help on their D, but it should be good enough that they make the playoffs even as is. And then Formanton, Pinto, they have Connor Brown here, but he won't be there. Who do they got knocking on they got some young guys knocking on the door on D too. Bernard Docker's been knocking on the door for a while. And I do think that, where is he? Jake Sanderson, of course. Tyler Clevin is coming up. Where's that other guy that they had on there, though? Is he on loan? Oh, yeah. Lassie Thompson. So they got a lot coming up through the pipe there, actually. Chicago Blackhawks. Take a look at that. Yeah, I don't even think he's a decent player. He did have a better year defensively last year than he did his whole career, though. So I'll give him that. So as it stands right now for Chicago, Their number one line would be something like that young kid Lucas Reichel with Tays and Kane, who are probably going to get traded. Andreas Athanasiou with Max Domi up the middle. He just has to play center, Max Domi, and he's no good at it. And Tyler Johnson, Lafferty, Juhar Kyra, and Colin Blackwell. And then Kurashev, Entwistle, I do like him, and Tyler Radishu isn't bad. And on D, their D is actually still not bad if they keep it like this. I don't know, are you going to keep Connor Murphy and McCabe and all these guys around? Alex Vlasic looks really good, but that is one porous looking team. And then goaltender, of course, they don't have Mrazek. Their number one goaltender in Chicago is Mrazek. And backup Stalick. If he's actually healthy, I don't know. Oh, the Florida Panthers are closing in on Nick Cousins. 2-year deal, 1.1 per. So with because they lost Marchment, they're going to get some. They're going to keep on chasing those guys like they're going to. Let's bring up Florida up there. So Colin White at 1.2 would end up being their, I think, third line. They got Gregory Denisenko, but he really hasn't did much in the minors yet. So Cousins would be that third line, that probably the fourth line guy there. But those kind of guys are guys that they try to grab their Carter Verhaeghes and guys like that. Achari, who also had some offense and stuff like that. Patrick Hornquist probably plays lower. I have a feeling they're going to give Cousins and Colin White a chance to play up with Bennett and Verhaeghe or something of that nature. See how much offense they can extract from them like they did with other guys. But so they let Marchment go, and they get two guys that they figure that they can extract the same kind of offense from. We'll see if it works. I mean, they have been really good at it. They have been good at picking up guys like that on the right on. So no reason to think that it might not work out now. 1.1 for both, 1.2 for White and 1.2 for Cousins. Goodbranson expected to sign with Columbus. Now, Goodbranson last year had one of his best years. Didn't he play in Columbus? Didn't he play? Played in Florida. I want to say that Goodbranson already played in Columbus before. But anyways, if he keeps on playing the way he did last year with Sutter and Calgary, that could end up being not a bad deal for them, I suppose. They do need defensemen in Columbus. They have virtually none. It doesn't say how much. I don't think they won't have it in here yet. I don't know where he fits there. They're gonna let Jake Bean go or something like that. The Jake Bean experiment is gone, or they're just bringing him in as a seventh defenseman. Gustafson to the Capitals, like, okay. I don't know why they would want to do that. Let me find the answer. Where the heck is the position? Defense. Still got DeHaan, Klingberg. They still have Schultz. Not. Oh my gosh! So they're talking about the Marchment deal right now. And they were all pretty much had him sign, and Dallas came in and scooped him up. Maybe. Oh wow. Okay, where's Gudbranson? There we go. Oh, he can play left or right. Yeah, I'd say that's just basically a seventh defenseman, unless they weren't happy with Bean last year. Louis Domingue to the Rangers. So they got Louis Domingue as their third goaltender. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna play with Ben and Sagan. Have fun with that. Gonna be doing all the heavy lifting on that line. So they're okay. They're saying they're gonna trade Pulley Harvey yet, which is terrible. But they're not doing it for Brown. Yeah, Gudbranson to the Jackets. He had a good year last year, actually. Surprisingly good year last year. If he can play like he did last year, it's not a bad deal for Columbus. Depending on how much they pay for him. But it looks like it's going to be the seventh spot, unless they're the only person I could see maybe the Bean experience. Jan Ruda signs with 3-year deal with the Penguins. Makes sense. I mean, that's kind of like the same defenseman all over again there. Is it? Oh, the Blues signed Noel Acciari. The Blues signed Noel Acciari. That's interesting. I'll tell you in a second why I think that's interesting, but first I want to see. Sabres signed Jeremy Davies to two-way. The San Jose Sharks sign Oscar Lindblom. That's a smart move by them. 2.5. That's a really good move for San Jose. I love that move for San Jose. San Jose's been making some really nice moves. Greer has been doing a good job there. Because they're going to look for depth. As much depth as possible. He's a younger guy. Why not give him a shot? I love that. I love that signing. Awesome signing. 2.75? Yeah, wow. It's right on the tip, I think. Oh, Ruda is 2.75. That's okay, I guess. Maybe. Oh, wait a second here. Maybe they're signing Ruda because they have plans for Palat. Well, they're not going to do anything this year. They're tanking this year, bud. What deals don't you like? I got to show that show. What deals don't you like? Like doing nothing, you mean? There's not much for them to do. Madison Bowie's just a minor league deal. What was the other two? What if I forgot? So let's look at Pittsburgh then. What were the other deals? I didn't even. What am I missing? I'm just forgetting, obviously. So, where would Ruda fit in? Oh, wait a second. There's been talk of them trading Marino. Oh, or either that or they just Chad Ruedel is 32 now. So I guess he would just play with Marcus Peterson. Yeah, there's just minor league deals, bud. Let me bring up Montreal. Yeah, 7 times 11.2. Wow. Wow. 11.2. So he makes the 80 mil almost 80 million too as well. Man, that's a lot of money. Holy crap. Okay, let me see what Montreal. That's 11.2. That is freaking steep. Holy crap. Oh, okay. It's not. Might not be true. Wait a second. I'm gonna do a. I'm gonna do a TikTok. Hearing Johnny Gaudreau for 11.2 for 7 years. Anybody else hearing that out there? That's a whack load of scratch, my friend. See what actually happens, but that's what I'm hearing. Yeah, he is, but I mean that's a lot on the cap for them. Holy crap! And they're small. He did like New Jersey's a small team already. They got to find a way to get some size in there. I like. I'm not all about the size. I know you need. I'm not all about the size all the time, but I mean that's a pretty small team, man. Oh no, 4.75. I love Stevie Y. I love, 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 but I don't like that deal at all. I don't get it. I don't get that deal at all. Stevie Y, man. Goudreau, or sorry, Ben Sherratt, 4 million for 4.75. I love you, man, and very seldom do that. I think this is a bad mistake. He's terrible defensively. He's completely overrated. I know you want to bring some character and compete. He does compete. Maybe they can train him to play to not go out of position to hit people and overcommit in his when he pinches and all that kind of stuff like that. Maybe that's the plan. But the fact is he's not like that now and you're paying 4.75. He's a 5'6" defenseman as it stands right now. I don't like it at all. At least it was only 4 years, but what do you guys think out there? I'm doing some shorts here as we talk, so go check them out after I'm done. Well, you can hear them, I guess. Bad deal for Detroit. Bad, bad deal. I'm really surprised Stevie Y did that. Yeah, that's just a terrible deal. I'm really surprised. I mean, Stevie Y is, wow. I don't get it. That was the same as when they got Letty last year. I don't understand this. Oh yeah, Vegas hasn't did a damn thing. I guess they don't have anything. Trust the Iser plan. Yeah, I've liked everything he's done so far, but I don't like this one. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah, I know. Yeah, same as the Shanna plan or whatever. I think Kaisermoon's been doing some day drinking today or something. I don't know. That is insane. Not not as bad as is it almost as bad as the Trocheck deal? Or in the Letty deal is worse though. Letty deal is still worse, but I don't get it. I don't know what the heck he's. I'm stunned. I'm sitting here stunned right now. I just can't believe that. Yeah, I'm stunned by that deal. That's like I did not think Stevie Eisenman would do something like that. That's terrible. That's a lot of money. I know that he must be doing it to protect his players or whatever, but that's a lot of money to throw at a guy who's really bad defensively just to protect your players. Louis Domingue is their third string on a 2-year contract. So Louis Domingue got a one-way contract to play in the minors. Wow. The Red Wings are closing on David Perron now. The Red Wings are in on Perron now. Now that I like. I like Kopp. I like Perron. They're going to be a team next year. It's just the Sherratt deal is brutal. I guess. He's like people say, oh, I love Sherratt. We need that defensive guy. He's not. He's more offensive than defensive. He's basically Letty, but he beats people up more. That's all he is. That's a lot of money, man. Very surprised by that. But apparently Perron's going there too. Now Perron makes sense. Now they got a solid top. Like they got an opportunity to make the playoffs still, even though I'm not big on the Sherratt play. But he's going for it a lot more now than he had. The rebuild is over. Oh, I thought they were ending. The Palat thickens, yeah. I think, okay, I was talking about that and then something else happened and I forgot. Getting, okay, let's look at Pittsburgh. I don't understand the Raquel signing much, but I have a feeling they could buy out Jason Zucker. And getting, let me update that. Jan Ruda, it's possible they could be telling Jan Ruda, bring your buddy Palat over here. I think Palat goes to Pittsburgh. That makes a heck of a lot of sense. Palat plays with his buddy Jan Ruda. Is there any other? Is Palat's a Czech, isn't he? Yeah, I think isn't Pilata Czech? Yeah, he's a Czech. Yeah, I could see it. Burakovsky to Seattle. That makes sense. Seattle's getting that makes a lot of sense because as long as it doesn't have a no movement clause to it, he gets paid. He gets top six. All of these guys are tradable players that they can get draft picks for down the road. They got Schultz. They got Burakovsky. Just picking up random guys to be able to use for picks come trade deadline if they don't make it. That's what I thought Ran Francis was going to do, and that looks like what they're doing. Oh, he's known Coach Steve Spot since he was a young kid. Okay. Probably was money too, man. Mark Stahl going to retire in Florida. Okay, the Stahl brothers are going to go hang out in Florida for a while. Going to retire in Florida. That makes sense. I don't know. Mark Stahl probably. I can't see them. Watch out for Uyghur. I just heard so much about Uyghur movie and Uyghur movie and Uyghur movie. There's a big deal going down there, I guess. I don't know what that would look like because they're going to need a defenseman back. They obviously weren't doing it to sign Sherratt because they let Sherratt go. So I have no idea what that's all about. You can't tell me Eric Stahl is going to be replacing him. Is it over now? Oh, jeez, did he ever get paid there? Holy crap. 5 times 5.5 for Burakovsky? That's steep, man. Like, is he going to put up those kind of numbers in Seattle? I don't think so. Holy crap. So there's a lot of stuff still going on then. Seattle. Has that been made official yet? Signed Burakovsky, yeah. So where does he fit in that lineup? Burakovsky, Gord, McCann. They didn't have anybody to score last year, so that helps. I mean, he fills the spot. I still don't see a playoff team here at all. We'll see what else they do. No movement clause. Maybe it hasn't come out yet though. It does. It looks like it's see no movement clause. So like they're tradable contracts. Oh yeah, he's in Toronto. He's from Toronto. Oh yeah, oh for sure. I mean I wouldn't be surprised if McDavid did something like that. But wait, I mean you got Matthews there and stuff like that. I don't know. I think he's found his home in Edmonton. I hope so. Anyways. Bruins expected to sign Dan Verneuf, who's been in the Detroit organization forever. That's interesting, I guess. I still say Palat goes to Pittsburgh. I think Kadri's going to take it right to the end here. I'm not going to be able to be on for all of this, though. So let's go look at Edmonton. That's right. I haven't looked at Edmonton yet. So if it's true that Connor Brown rumor, Jesse Puljujarvi will definitely be gone. So Connor Brown would be playing in Puljujarvi's spot. I don't know. I mean, that doesn't make him better. Right now in cap friendly, Dylan Holloway is in the lineup. I guess we're getting desperate here. I might have to go to extend Will Bitton, sign Marks, and Eric Stahl. I can't see Eric Stahl being able to make that lineup. So that pretty much assures that Thornton's not going there. Thornton's probably not. I think Thornton finally will retire. Jogger wouldn't sign with an NHL team? What, to like retire in a sweater, you mean? What? What are you talking about? Call me anytime. Yeah, all right. I'll be right back, guys. Oh shoot, I gotta do that. I gotta get out of here. Oh, so Yager actually said that. Oh my God. You're not going to believe this if you haven't heard it already. Winnipeg Jets signed David Rittich. They're not making the playoffs next year. No way. No way Jets are making the playoffs next year. David Rittich as your backup? Might as well just not sign anybody, really. Probably gave him like 900K. I would think so. There's still lots of talk about Dubois. Dubois is going to Montreal apparently when he's a free agent, so they might as well get something for him now. Might as well blow it up. You might as well trade Hollebuck, really. Just keep Rittich as your number one. That you will be pretty darn close to the worst in the league if you do that for sure, regardless of what you do with the rest of your roster. That's yeah. I mean, I get with Winnipeg, it's hard to find guys to even go there, but once they lost Comrie, Rittich, my gosh, he is so bad. He's bad. He's got a terrible attitude, and that's the thing is they're having problems in the room there. Getting Rittich doesn't help that. Quinn, I don't know, man. Something's funny about Quinn. He can't seem to get a job since he left Philadelphia. Not a good interview or something. Uh, it's possible, I suppose. Greer's doing some really good things so far, though. Trading Burns was a good move. I liked them bringing in Lindholm. I don't think that they're a playoff team or anything like that, but so far he's making some good moves. Uh, yeah, as far as coaches and how they do in the, I mean, Quinn with the Rangers didn't seem to do all that bad, but he got a bad rap there, really. It depends on what direction. It seems like they're going younger. Quinn was a college coach. Okay. Sorry, I got to do some things while I'm talking to you. Travis Green? Really? Is there like a Greer Green connection there? I think Travis Green got a really, his last job, he kind of, looks like he kind of imploded there, but maybe. I had Calgary in there, so he did end up going to Calgary? 6 years at 9.4. Holy jeez. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh, that's a terrible, terrible, terrible move. That is absolutely horrible. So instead of signing Goudreau, they have Kadri instead. They're not a cup contender in that. Oh, okay, God. Yeah, I could. That would be absolutely horrible move. Whoops. How did that happen? Oh, I forgot. I had my window capture on. There we go. Kubalik to the Red Wings? That makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. I like everything they've done with their forwards. But their wingers are it's just a Sherrod move I don't like. So Detroit's no longer on a two-way to Minnesota. Okay. Let's see what the Detroit Red Wings fans. Greg McKegg. Oh, Greg McKegg to Edmonton? It's not a bad move by them. I liked him. That was a what? The Edmonton Oilers are making good moves. Yeah, I mean Kubalik. It could be. I think Kubalik is from the same place as Zadina is, where Zadina is from. So he had a good year. There's a really good chance that he just struggled in Chicago last year because of all the crap that went on. 375 guaranteed means that it's a two-way contract. So let's say it's a 325,000 AHL contract, but the NHL team will throw in another 50 grand to bring it up to 375. So he's making 375 in the minors, which is pretty solid in the minors. 2.5 times 2. Yeah, he gets an opportunity to show what he can do there in Detroit in a better environment than Chicago. So, yeah, I have nothing wrong with that. Everything he's done so far I liked except for Sherratt deal. The Sherratt deal is, I don't understand. Well, sign McKegg. I do like that McKegg signing. Oh, Colorado resigns Jonas Johansson. I imagine that's got to be a two-way deal. Kubalik 2.5 undisclosed terms. Where did you get the terms? I don't have anything here where the terms were set. Alex Lyon? That's funny. They gave up all those goaltenders and now they're bringing in Alex Lyon. Third stringer. Yeah, Lyon's all right. I mean, he can fill a spot there. Third stringer comes in, and as long as you don't play him too much because he's got holes. But so he's gonna be a backup to Kochetkov. No, he's heading to Florida. Okay, that's right. So Lyon's not couldn't be the third string there. So he's just got to hope. I mean, they're still up in the air what's going to happen with Bobrovsky there. So it's probably a good move for him. Because there's a lot of things up in the air in Florida. So you never know. He might get a couple more games in the NHL. He's still suspended. Oh, did he get suspended again? Okay, so look at, so we got, right now I would say the Detroit Red Wings are definitely the most, Ottawa and Detroit are the teams that have been the most, like, it looks like they could flip and make the playoffs this year. There's going to be some teams not making it. Boston hasn't did a damn thing. It looks like they're out on everybody. I think there's a really good chance Boston misses next year the way things are going here. Which would be like really brutal. They bring Bergeron back and like they haven't did a thing. And if they're not in on Kadri, I don't know. Without a second line center there, what are they going to do? Oh, I guess they're gonna. That was their second line center pickup, was where they got from New Jersey. So far, I'd say Ottawa, Detroit, and Tampa Bay have won the day. Just Tampa Bay for their signings. Ottawa bringing. I mean, Detroit just went nuts. That team is going to be. It's probably going to take a while for that team to gel with all of those additions like that. Kubalik's going to play the left side. Yeah, he is. He's going to. That's why he is. He is a Czech. So they have Zadina, Kubalik, and Vrana all Czechs. They got a whole bunch of Swedes coming up. Lucas Raymond, Perron. It's going to be Bertuzzi, Larkin, Raymond. That was their number one. Then Vrana, Kopp, and David Perron. I almost think I would put Perron up there with Larkin and try Raymond down with Kopp. It's Lucas Raymond controls the play, is a play driver. Perron's more of a, he needs a passer on his line. I don't think Kopp is really that. And then where does Zadina sit in all this? Zadina's got to be sitting there going, okay, where am I here? Where do I fit in here? I wonder if he does fit. They got Ben Chirot on the top line with Moritz Seider. Okay, Moritz Seider will make up for a lot of Ben Chirot's stuff, but and then Mata and Hronek, like Ben Chirot's going to lose his place in the lineup like soon. I'm pretty sure. Maybe not. Might take a while for Volunteer to be ready. Where the heck is Edmondson? Edmondson loaned. Okay, he's a left defenseman too. They're both left defensemen. Yeah, they're both left defensemen. He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose a spot before that contract is up. I don't get that contract. He's gonna be a third pairing defenseman within 2 years. For 4, I don't know what he's doing there. He doesn't have a no trade clause, so maybe that's it. Maybe they got him to trade him in 2 years. All I can think of is like just to make sure that guys are not taking advantage of their players and stuff like that, all that kind of stuff. Hey Brian, how you doing? He's okay. I don't know if I'm as high as him as Lauren is. He's okay. I mean, he'll score some goals for you. He's got a killer shot. Oh, he's a one-shot shooter. That's what he is. He's the kind of guy that gets you goals like in the slot and stuff like that. He needs time to release it, I think, is what Lauren is saying. Oh, and he does go wide, sure, but he's got a hard shot. And when he hits corners at a pretty good rate, but he misses a lot too. Yeah, he's okay. He's nothing spectacular. You're not. It's not. He's not going to help. He's not going to get you to make the playoffs next year. You came in here before. We talked about this before, Kraken. That Francis is getting players that he can trade later. He gave Burakovsky a year more than anybody else would at 5.5. So he'll play there a while, and then he'll use them for draft picks. Same as Schultz. That's what he's doing. He'll probably play on the second line. He'll play up and down the lineup. He needs to be with a passer. He needs to be with a passer. So Yanni Gord. I mean, I don't know. He'll probably play with Gord and McCann, I guess. Maybe he could play with Wenberg there. Wenberg is a passer. Playing with Wenberg probably. Yeah, I don't see Seattle making the playoffs. So. I don't think it's his full intent to do so. He's putting out he's putting out a lineup that at least doesn't get blown out every game. You know, it gets him close games and stuff like that. You want to be competitive, but you know he doesn't want to be outside of the top 10 for draft picks either. That's pretty much what that lineup is. Until they build, you know, a lot of guys coming up there, you know, then you'll see what Detroit did now. He's going to build get as many picks as possible, grow your own players, and then do eventually what Detroit did this year, which was sign a whole crap load of players. If they get Bedard or Michkov, yeah. I mean, getting Bedard or Michkov is a good start to, that definitely increases the time frame of how fast you build for sure. It's going to be tough to do though. I think Seattle might be too good, and they're in a weak division. Chicago and Arizona. Chicago, like Arizona might have a worse team than Chicago. I don't know. They're both pretty bad. I think Chicago's got to be the bottom of the league next year. So they get one of those, I would imagine. And then you got to dogfight it with Seattle and Arizona and hope that you can grab it. But could be off to the playoffs. Only thing I didn't like was the Sherratt move. But besides the Sherratt move, they got a pretty good chance. I don't think Boston's going to be there. Toronto might not be there with that goaltender. Yep. Yeah, that would be the bad thing about that. So yeah, I think Detroit probably will make the playoffs. I'm not. Husso and Nedeljkovic have got to be a good pair together. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at that. What the divisions would be. So they got like next year you got Carolina in the Atlantic. You got Florida's in, Toronto, Tampa Bay's in. Yeah, they could make it, but you're fighting it out with a lot of great teams there in the Metropolitan. That's going to be the tough part. You got to they beat out the Islanders, Columbus, New Jersey. It's going to be tight, but they certainly got a good chance. That's for sure. Yeah, it's pretty. I'm hearing it's deep, but Lawrence says it's not really as deep as people think. Just two big names in the top, but I'm hearing it's deeper than this one, so I don't know. I'm still not big on their defense yet, and I'm still not totally sold on Husso. Uh, I think well, you got a Norris possible in. Yeah, Hronik. I love Cider. I love Hronik. Mata. Uh, I still don't. I'm still not crazy about their defense. I'm not big on Ben Sherratt there. I still think they're going to let a lot of goals in. That's the big thing. They're going to score for sure. They got lots of scoring in that lineup. But I'm not so sure about their defense. About Detroit. Adam Fantilli is another one, yeah. I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, that's not saying much. You know me. I'm not a big Ned fan. I thought it's pretty overrated. Husso had a really good season. Let's just say it as it is. He had a really good season. Does that mean he's gonna? And even at that, he faltered in the playoffs. It's a pretty small sample size to say that Husso is going to be able to carry it next year. And he hasn't really. St. Louis had a way better defense than Detroit. Oh, there are goalies. Okay. Edvinsson, yeah, that's the thing. Once you get Edvinsson and Vollander in there, what do you need Sherratt for? So I personally think that Sherratt was there. He brought Sherratt in there to because they do need some protection in Detroit. They don't really have anybody for that. So I think he was brought in there to protect those young defensemen for now. And then the idea is to trade him down the road because there's no way. In an ideally, Vollander and Edvinsson are going to want to take those spots. Yep, that's what I think. Yeah, you want to be competitive because you need to bring people to the seat, to the chairs. You got to bring people to the arena. If you're not competitive, nobody's going to show up, and you don't have a team. So they're grabbing guys. If you notice, he doesn't give anybody a no trade clause. He'd rather overpay them and give them an extra year. So they're more secure with their family. And in the back of their mind say, no, they're not likely going to be Seattle to the end of that contract. But, they have that secure money. No, not they have a lot of season tickets out there, but you still got people. It's not everybody has season tickets there. And it'd be people coming to the seats is great if you're competitive. If you're not competitive, I don't care what you're in. Like if you're like getting destroyed, like Chicago is going to see it this year. Chicago is going to lose a lot of money this year. Well, right, you just got three big. Right is, I don't know. There's a lot of question marks onto what right is going to be. Having a stacked top three, like you take. No, Russian's not better. You do not leave Bedard. You take Bedard. You take Bedard. Bedard is the best. Bedard is insane. Insane. You're worried about where you're going to put your other centers after you take Bedard. Like, trade one of them if you have to. They're going to have lots of. You know, whatever you got to do, you don't leave Bedard out there. Bedard, honestly, and I at first I chuckled at it when Lauren said it. Bedard, I think Bedard might even have a better shot than Matthews. You don't, no way you trade, no way you don't take Bedard if you can get him. Yeah, you take Bedard first for sure, no doubt about it. Pretty small stuff now. Bedard is first overall for sure, yeah. Why was Bedard not a first? What do you mean? You take Bedard first. Are you talking about Wright? The thing about Shane Wright is there's the big talk about, there's two things. From what I understand, Shane Wright wanted to go to Seattle the whole time. Shane Wright is one of those guys where he wants to be the man. And he apparently has attitude issues. He's immature, yeah. Big time ego, yeah. That's scary to pick a guy with a big time ego, because how many times have we seen those ego guys fall? I guess like Alexander Daigle back in the day was a complete asshole. Complete asshole. Yeah, I hope he's going to have to get humbled, yeah. Apparently more than Eichel. But this is just what I've heard. I mean, some of the things I've heard him say and do and stuff like that, it's, but if you get knocked down, getting knocked down a peg, then it depends on what you do after that. If you keep on holding on to that ego stuff like that, usually those players don't make it. Yeah, maybe he does make the roster at the start of the season. I'm not sure. And that might be it too. He might have told the teams that I want to play next season. I don't want to go down to the junior, or I don't want to go back to junior. I think I'm good enough to play in the NHL. And guys, organizations like Montreal are like, you don't tell us what to do. So Slafkovsky, I think Slafkovsky could be a Rantanen type, and I mean, if he is, then they might have got the better player anyways. I'm not sure. We'll see. And then they took that other Slovak in 26th or 27th, somewhere around there. I don't think Slafkovsky plays next season. I think he's got some work to do. I could be wrong, but Shane Wright. I mean, the weird thing about him is he's a great two-way player already. Yeah, I think Yeah, I think that I love that kid. Do you think he'll play next season? I don't know. I think his complete there has to be a complete game yet, but we'll see. There's no they have no reason to rush him, but if if he's good enough, he's good enough, I guess. Well, guys, I think it's cooled off here a bit. I gotta do some videos and stuff like that. I think I'm gonna call it a day here. This was fun, and I was supposed to be on with Peyton tonight, but I can't. I gotta go to work, so I gotta get ready for work. I gotta pick up the little lady and stuff like that. So we'll be doing more stuff like this again throughout the summer. Thanks for coming on, everybody. Hope you subbed up and everything. Have a great day. Take care, guys.